Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 1523, written by MsWonderWonka, The Vanishing Streets in Puerto Rico. I'm currently in Puerto Rico at an Airbnb in a residential community. I'm here through a series of positive synchronicities. I'll mention I've been very much involved in various personal, spiritual, and let's say interdimensional ponderings and adventures for about 8 months. I'm in Trujillo, a small little beach town. I got lost literally 2 blocks from my Airbnb. I thought I was on the same street. I had only walked a half a block away and turned right around. I have to smoke off premises. It was daytime. I was on a different street, with all new houses, and each had like 5 dogs barking at me. I remember things by landmarks. It was a different street. I broke out in a sweat. These dogs were all barking. I asked someone where to go. I was somehow 1 street over. I turned a corner and found it immediately. Fast forward to 10 minutes ago. I walked again to the same spot and the street isn't there. It's actually not there. I'm really panicking and no one will believe me. I didn't lose any time. I didn't black out. Things feel different, but I don't know if it's just because it was so jarring. Has anyone experienced this? Case also file 1523, The Vanishing Streets in Puerto Rico. I'm not even sure if that's the correct way to say Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. It's just fun to say. And I always find it funny when people don't know that Puerto Rico is technically a US territory, so people who live there are US citizens, although they can't vote if they live there, which is a whole weird thing about it. Anyways, I think the splitting of realities between multiple universes must be so disorienting, especially when changes are so massive like this one. So you somehow walked out into the street and it wasn't your street. So maybe a space-time portal connected with a multiverse event. Because the road wasn't there in recheck, so it couldn't have just been your universe. Case file number 1524, written by TheRiff, a 5th grade mystery. In 5th grade, there was some rally to give prizes to the kids who sold the most stuff door to door. We were all in the gym and it was over. Being closest to the door on the left side of the gym, we were the first class to line up and start leaving. I'm in the very back, and I see my friend Wesley towards the front of the line. He hits his shoulder really hard in the middle part that separates the double doors, so the line flies out, and then when I step outside, there's only my friend who was immediately in front of me and 3 girls. The 5 of us are entirely alone in the hallway. Our immediate thought is that they got ahead of us somehow, but that shouldn't really be possible because it's a long enough hallway. We went all the way back to class, but all the classes in fact, were empty. One girl says, "Wasn't art next? Maybe they went all the way to the art room." And so we went further, turned left, only to see the art room was empty. Someone then says, "Well, where did they go? Let's go back to the gym." The girls start to go back the way we'd come, and my friend and I go the other way. It's a small school, and the hallways basically go around in a big square. The art room is exactly opposite the gym, so going either way is the same distance. We reach the gym, and so do the girls, having not seen anyone, and seeing that all those classrooms were empty as well. So we went back to the gym. The gym is mostly empty now. A few adults are cleaning up. One is carrying the big banner that was high up on the gym wall. The very last class is filling out the other doors, which lead into the same hallway. So I turn around and I'm at the back of the line. My whole class is right in front of me. At first I thought, wow, how did I miss that? I'm confused. But then I see my friend Wesley, far ahead of me, in the line as before, hit his shoulder really hard on the middle part between the double doors. And then I turn around again and see the adults before are just starting to clean up. And the big banner is still high up on the wall. I spoke with the other 4. We all agreed that this happened, and we had no way of explaining it. One of the girls was normally an extreme skeptic, the annoying type that doesn't believe even the mundane things like, I live in the same state that Abraham Lincoln once did. Even she was completely baffled and willing to believe something weird was going on. I never told anyone outside of that group, and as far as I know, no one else did. But for the next several days, it was all my friends and I could talk about to each other. Case also file 1524. A 5th grade mystery. Yeah, while I do hold space-time portals as very common occurrences and responsible for a lot of glitches, I think in this case, it's probably the dead pocket theory. So when you die, you transition to a different universe. In this quantum flux realm, There can be servers created, or maybe they're always there and just waiting for people to join, but basically, they exist in a state where there are no other humans or almost no other humans. Maybe there's another person in Nepal on a mountain that's just waiting his transition to a new universe, but basically, there's very, very few people. And if you think about it, there's about, I think, 2 people that die every second, or is it just 1? Maybe 1 person dies every second, something along those lines. On the scale of the globe, people are dying often, but it's not that fast, that many, if you consider the scale of the planet. So if, say you're there, you're in this dead pocket server for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, what is that? You get maybe 600 people that are in the entire globe at that given moment, because eventually they're transitioned out to their new universe, their new destination. So if this is true, at any given moment, maybe just 1 in this dead server simulation, holding area, buffer area, there could only be 600 other people in the entire planet. So the odds of ever running into someone else in that zone is virtually impossible, unless you all died together. There are things that can happen with schools. There could be gas leaks, explosions, things happen that are just so sad when it involves kids, especially. And of course, we are reading this from the perspective of this new universe. So we wouldn't see it in the news or anything, that something happened to a bunch of kids. We would have no idea because it happened in a different universe. That news story is headlines probably nationwide over there, maybe worldwide. But for you, you just never know. Creepy File, written by Lukaxmagnotta. What really happened at the red light? I think I was abducted, or something supernatural happened. I'm not ashamed. I don't know if I should report this or what. I just need some guidance. I'll try to keep it brief. Saturday night, my boyfriend and I were heading home after a drinkless night out. I was driving and pulled up to a red light and told him, keep an eye out for the green light for me, because I wanted to check my phone. Now I always pull up on the white line. I hate when people stop short of it. I was fully aware and not sleepy at all when I said this. For additional context, I was going down a slight hill. I was up the hill from the light, so I would have to roll backwards up the hill with my car and drive. I also have the auto parking brakes when my car comes to a complete stop. The next thing I know, I woke up, a car about 40 inches away from the line by the red light. Confused and a little panicked, I muttered something like, "What the hell?" And my boyfriend sat up and said, "What the frick just happened?" I snapped at him. I said, "Let me know when the light turns green, I don't know." He said, "How long were we sitting here?" I shrugged. He says, "My video played for 10 minutes, and went back through the video, and didn't remember any of the video in the time that had passed. It creeped me out. I barely slept Saturday night, and Sunday joked about it to my sister, but today, on the way to work, my boyfriend and I passed the same traffic light. So I asked him, what do you think happened Saturday? Weird, huh?" And he had no idea what I was talking about. I recounted the entire story as specifically as I could. He didn't even remember getting home or the ride home. So do you think something supernatural happened? And if so, do I report it? To where? Case notes for the creepy file. What really happened at the red light? So your boyfriend initially remembered. Why did he forget? Did you somehow transition universes again after that? Probably not. Maybe your boyfriend was just too scared to even admit it to himself. Trauma can lead to a blockage of a memory. So maybe it's just trauma. And he subconsciously blocked the memory out after going to bed. That happens all the time when something affects you that disturbs you greatly. It doesn't have to just be pain. People think of PTSD and that kind of trauma, or being assaulted or something. Yeah, those can definitely trigger a memory block. But it doesn't have to be that. It could just be something that affects you emotionally, even though nothing physically happened to you. So maybe that's the explanation for this one. Now, time for the quote of the day. Is there life before death? Graffito. Yeah, I've wondered this so often because think about it. Before you were born, you didn't exist, and now here you are. So, I mean, you just think about it again. If you die, you return to that same state of non-existence. If there's no other universes, you're capped out on that. There's no heaven, there's no hell, there's no simulation. It's just this. Well, you didn't exist before, and here you are. So it really is a logical way to reach reincarnation. Now, probably you don't retain your memories from past lives, if this is the case, but it's sort of like the universe recycling its material into different configurations. But the consciousness that is self-aware, maybe you die and instantly you're reborn in a different form. That's kind of a cool idea, but it does make you a bit concerned that you can come back as, say, an insect or something. I hope not. I would hope to come back as a human being. Or what if you come back as an alien in a far distant world? That could be interesting. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. Kinetic Symphony signing off.